live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Real good topics.
Yes.
All right, so I think with the real good topics that we have today, I think that this one right here is probably the first topic. It's probably the topic that I want to talk least about.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Oh man. You know, and the reason is because I feel like at this point, and this is worthy of talking about just because of the nature of how it came out. But I feel like some of the networks that we go to for sports are kind of at this point just running like every story is about him. And it's like, are we still arguing about who the GOAT is just because we saw LeBron and MJ at the 75, like at the 75 greatest players in the NBA? Like, okay, we've had this debate for long enough. However you feel about the two is where you're going to land. Like, can we please stop talking about them? But now I feel like with the other sports shows, they're just, it's become LeBron centric. Mm-hmm. But we have to talk about this because he said something that made the sports world say, huh?
So you brought it to them. They weren't, they were talking about you, but you just right. keeping the dialogue going with stuff like this.
Yeah. Also, it's like when you get asked kind of a pointed question like this, because this conversation happened during All-Star Weekend. And All-Star Weekend was in Cleveland, right? Yeah. So to introduce you guys to what we're talking about, because I know you get tired of the intro. LeBron made the announcement that not ruling out a comeback to the Cavs. How'd you feel about it?
My first instinct was, why are you being stupid? I mean, honestly. So when he left the Cavs the first time, and the sheer disrespect of people, it was the audacity of like LeBron was your property. Mm-hmm. And so the betrayal you felt, the way that you expressed that feeling, all of that just kind of put a real bad taste in my mouth about him being in Cleveland in the first place. Mm-hmm. So when you went back the first time, I know it was this, that is home. Mm-hmm. And there's this love, you want to bring something to home. And you ignored all of what people had said and done and just said, I'm going to focus on the fact that I want to bring this to my hometown, right?
Grace and mercy.
And Favor and everybody else was involved. When you made the decision to go to the Lakers, so leave again to go to the Lakers, this time I feel like the only reason it would make sense to me is if he has some strong inkling that the Cavs are going to draft Bronny.
Right.
Because he has said he wants to stay and play with his son. Mm-hmm. So if that is I guess I need to know more of your reasoning, but just on the surface level, it just seems like, why would you? Don't do that. Don't even if that might be in the back of your head because you want to retire as a Cav, maybe. I'm just trying to say, what are your possible reasonings? Right. And I don't care what it is. Keep it to yourself.
So, and I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this about the larger media in general. We want vulnerability and truthfulness from our athletes until they are vulnerable and truthful about something that we don't think they should be, right? And this isn't to you. This is to Stephen A. Smith and a couple of those other guys who who said, "Oh, why would he say something like this or anything like that?" To me, if you look at the entire argument, I mean, not the argument, you look at the entirety of the interview, the question was asked like, "Hey, is it a possibility that you could come back and play for Cleveland?" Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was The Athletic who did the interview. And his response was more so of like, you know, I would never rule that out. Like, you know, I don't know what the future holds. So it's not that. I mean, I think the Bronny isn't eligible to come out until 2024.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2024. A lot can happen between now and then. I think him saying that is not, oh yeah, like I may come back to Cleveland. It's like, y'all know that I'm trying to play with my son, because he says that in this article. Y'all know that I'm trying to play with my son.
Right.
So why would I rule out going back to Cleveland, knowing that
if that's where he could,
if that's where my son goes, that's where I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be Dallas, it could be. But you're asking me specifically about Cleveland, and so when I answer the question, the way that this gets turned and manipulated, it turns into, oh, LeBron's not ruling out going back to Cleveland, as opposed to, or LeBron is thinking about going back to Cleveland, as opposed to LeBron doesn't rule out going back to Cleveland.
And I'm not, and let me be clear, my gripe is not about LeBron's choices.
Right.
I think my gripe in this is, don't say it out loud.
Right.
Like, it, you know, and to your point of vulnerability, he has the right to say whatever he wants to, and whatever. But I think there are sometimes when it's just smart for your own good, not to, you know what I mean? Like, we have to be, this is something I'm learning as a human being myself, being careful about not saying everything.
Right.
Right. And because I'm an open book, and that's a problem, because it's not always a good thing.
Right. That's true.
Some stuff you just be like, you know what? I would have just responded and said, I'm willing to go wherever I need to go when the time comes. If the time comes and I leave LA, I'll go where what suits me or what's best for me.
So I'm going. So the reason why, and that's why I didn't want to talk about this, because it always feels like I'm.
Of course, you're going to defend him.
I'm going to. It feels like I'm always defending LeBron.
You are, yes.
I think though that with this in particular, because if LeBron does something where I'm just like, all right, come on, Kai, then I'll say it.
Yeah.
But something like this, like the one thing that I've been seeing all of this year, no matter how well LeBron is playing, the fact that the Lakers aren't doing well, and I know that he has to be hearing and seeing this too, is that the Lakers fans are fickle. And because he's not a homegrown Laker like Magic Johnson and like Kobe Bryant, some of the things that you're starting to see online is like, oh, Kobe Bryant would never, or oh, Magic Johnson would never. And it's like, even if he really did mean like, I'm not closing the door on going back to Cleveland, and Cleveland is where my heart is, and that's where I think I may likely end up in my career. Okay. Because what you guys as Lakers fans have shown me is that, like, I'm not in this Laker fold that you have. Right. Forget the fact that I won a championship 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
They quickly forget. That is
like, y'all forgot all about this, and forget the fact that I'm playing lights out in year 18. Everything I do, you scrutinize and compare to Kobe. So, absolutely. Okay, you don't really appreciate me, Lakers fans. I'll go back home where I'm appreciated.
Are you? Then are you? I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, sports fans in general are just fickle. You know what I'm saying? So when he left,
my whole point. Like, it doesn't matter where you end up.
Yeah,
it's gonna be jacked up. I don't care where you go, because
right.
Even when you was in Miami, that was a problem for somebody too. So just do you, and that's why I said, just say whatever works best for me. Like, don't even put it out. Like, yeah, I'll go where it works best, and work, and just leave it at that, because you just don't know.
But to your point though, by not even saying or by closing it up, you give life to the fact that you care about what these people think about your decisions. So you ask me a pointed question about, okay, where I may go, where I may end up. if I don't care about the larger population's feeling about where I go and end up, I'm going to be very honest with you. Now, if I'm trying to protect something, or I feel like this may harm or something like that, then okay, I may be closed-lipped about it. Like if I say, you know, and one of the things that you can see that there is some sort of issue going on between Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Laker management. And so
I'm not, you see how I ain't saying a word.
LeBron is a free agent after next year.
The same year that Bronny comes.
Well, 1 year before.
Is that?
Because that'll be that 2023 year.
22, 23? Or, that's
no,
20.
That'll be 23, 24. And then Bronny will come out 24, 25.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. So, well, I'm just saying, I just want you not to, for me, the only reason I have a problem is I want you not to be putting yourself in bad situations and having people to have to be making these speculations and talking about what you, like all of this could have been avoided, right? Because just get us the blanket statement and be done with it, and just keep it moving so that you don't put yourself, and I'm not, and I appreciate what you're saying, that he should speak his truth. But sometimes, again, it ain't worth it. And this is one of them situations I feel like it wasn't worth it.
I would agree with you if it was one of those things where it's like saying this is going to harm team continuity or team camaraderie or something like that. I will agree. But by saying this, like, truly, what is he harming?
His own peace of mind.
And that's what I was like, he would have to actually, I think he would know, like, okay, this is going to bother me, so maybe I don't need to say this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been in the media so long, I think he probably, like, and I feel like he's very calculated. So he would probably have ignored it and given one of those blanket statements if he felt like, okay, this is going to disrupt or interrupt something. That's why I brought up that I think that there is a little bit of a button of heads with him and Lakers management. Because I think this also says, like, oh,
I'm ready to go. I can go in
if y'all not going to do the things, because he posted a picture of the Rams GM with a shirt that said "F those draft picks."
Ooh.
Right, because you know that the Rams went all in and traded away all those draft picks.
Right.
And they won a Super Bowl with it.
Right.
Well, we got some word that Rob Pelinka and Lakers management decided to hold on to the 2027 draft pick, the first rounder, in order to, you know, make way for the Lakers' future.
Hey, this is your lane, because this is the business side of this, right? Like this is where you get into the weeds of it, and it is what it is. I'm all about the person as a human being before anything, so that's just where my mindset goes. And I'm always like, do what's best for you, like what's gonna be good for you, and you know what I mean. And so if it's my favorite thing. I've been saying it lately. If you like it, I love it. Yeah. Real talk.
All right, let's transition from that now and go on to what we thought about the All-Star weekend. The best part, you give your best and your worst part. I think we can agree on what the worst part was.
So the best part, hands down for me, was the 75 celebration.
Okay, so we in agreement with that.
Hands down.
The best part.
Right up under it for me would have been Steph in the All-Star game.
That was listening. That is one. If there's no way that you could dislike Steph Curry, it's just no way.
No way.
As much as I try to dislike him, and you know I tried.
I know you do. I know. Oh my God! Listen,
Wardell. Like, he shoots 3-pointers like they're layups.
I love the confidence in it. That They did a Instagram, I think ESPN did like an Instagram like of all of the shots, his 3-point, and how many times he just turned away.
Yeah.
After he let the ball loose because he knew it was going in. So that in itself, like, whoa, wow, really? But but the 75 celebration, hands down, I mean, just a beautiful, just to see that happen was beautiful. So that's my best. My worst, dunk contest. What was y'all doing? What was happening? Stop it.
All around in agreement with this one. So I won't even belabor the point. I will say that we've seen enough on YouTube from some of these kids out here that are doing these dunks that I have not seen from any of these NBA players, that the NBA, as good of a league as they are about transitioning and giving the fans what they want, we've seen enough of these dunks for them to say, let's bring some of these kids in here and have a dunk contest where some of these NBA players,
because that might make them step their game up too.
Right.
Because them kids, I agree. Like,
because now it looks like they're just coming out there and deciding
really
what dunk they're going to do on the fly.
It is. That's exactly. It feels like that, and it's just not. It just yeah, y'all. I was like, whoa, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like you won, but did you win anything?
Right.
This is when you see somebody, I don't know who called it, when you see, who was it? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Get up and leave
In the middle of the dunk contest.
Bye-bye.
It was a snoozer. It was a snoozer. So yeah, best and worst, hands down, those were it for me. Yeah.
So we're in agreement with those.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to Brian Flores. And we know that he has the suit against the NFL. It was just reported a little less than a week ago that he has made the decision to coach with the Steelers. Do you think this was a good idea?
So I see both sides of this. I see it being harmful to his suit. In a way that they're like, it's almost like when there's a settlement. This kind of feels like the settlement kind of thing, like, oh, well, you took that, so we're not really paying any attention. We're not giving no credence to what you said, even though his point is, because it's still true, he's not a head coach. The hiring practice does not, the problem with the hiring practice does not go away. But I know the NFL and the way that business works enough to say that they'll be like, oh, but you took that job, so you're good, right? So that's the only problem I see with it. The plus I see to this is you took a job with my boy.
Yeah.
So working with him, with Mike Tomlin, is the plus that I see for him in this. So I don't see it as so if he is adamant about his decision to continue the suit, it's detrimental.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You setting yourself up, honestly. You setting yourself up.
I would agree with you if he took a head coaching job, because it would have kind of proved their point. But the fact that he went to the only franchise who created the Rooney Rule and who has
got a black
head coach, I think that makes more of his point of, I did not have an opportunity. Only one black head coach was hired this cycle. After 3 was fired. We're not counting the guy who was hired in Miami. As much as he did to let you know that I'm not a black man, I'm multiracial. Okay, he doesn't count to what you guys are trying to.
Right. You're not gonna put him out here as no example for us. Yeah,
exactly.
And here's my other thing. The NFL's choice for counsel against this suit.
Dirty. And that right there, like, to me, like, it's, I see that as the same thing as, you know, I see that, and you know, do what you must. And that's why, like, I really don't, I feel a way about attorneys, especially defense attorneys. I feel like there's a selling of your soul that you have to do as a defense attorney to represent certain people. And I feel the same way that I felt when, what is the guy who was on, he was on the prosecution team for OJ, Christopher Darden.
Darden, yeah.
When he made the decision that he was going to represent Nipsey Hussle's killer. Like, to me, it's very tone deaf.
Yeah.
And like, where's the solidarity in that?
Everybody ain't about solidarity. Some people about their paper, some people about their reputation, which leads to their paper. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, and some people, this is not where they are. That's just not their, that's solidarity and standing up for, you know, for the culture or for your people or whatever. Right. Not that they don't care. So what? I'm out here for me.
Yeah.
And so those are the people, and it is what it is. I'm not judging anybody. That's your thing. If that's what you feel, that's how you feel. I'm just not that person. So that's not where I am, but I don't know how you sleep, but that's not my, again, I'm not judging, not here, nor neither or there. But I'm saying it is just not a good feeling and not a good look from our perspective.
Yeah.
As people who are watching what's happening, it's just not a good look. And all I'm going to say, this is the last I'm going to say, I hope that his suit is not compromised by this, because I feel like it was a good thing for him.
Right.
As a man who needs to take care of his family.
Yeah. And a man who gave up millions.
Yeah. To do the right thing.
By pursuing this. Because he could have stayed quiet and signed a separation agreement to get the rest of what he was owed for being fired.
Right.
And the rest of his contract.
Right. So I pray for him that that's what happens for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Michigan and Wisconsin.
It's right here.
Got into a brawl.
No, they didn't.
No.
Well, they did, but go ahead.
It didn't start like that.
No.
You can take the man out of Detroit, but you can't take Detroit out of the man.
And you know when I text you, that ain't what I said, but that's all I ain't. Yep.
I decided to keep it PG for the podcast.
I appreciate it, but you know exactly what he means. If you know, you know. Look, if you know, you know. Yeah.
Oh man, but this was the first topic that we were like, oh, this is the one.
Yeah, for sure. We gotta talk about this. For sure.
Oh man. So
yeah.
Juwan Howard, who is the head coach of the University of Michigan's men's basketball team, made a decision after he, you know, felt like Wisconsin's coach slighted their team by being up by so many points and deciding to call the timeout. He had a couple of words with one of the coaches, and then he took a swing, which erupted into a bit of a kerfuffle.
Yes, a kerfuffle. It was a bit of a kerfuffle.
Between the University of Michigan and the University of Wisconsin programs.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw this?
First of all, because you sent it to me, I think it's how I first saw it. And I said, what did I just watch? Right. I was like, wait, I gotta go back. Because I
need to see what happened.
Did I just see Juwan Howard put his paws out there on somebody? Like, wait a minute. Wait, what happened? And so I was able to watch it, you know, because people were dissecting it. And so I watched a few different shows about it. And I think the one thing that I am not defending him because he was wrong. Period. You're a professional man. You
That's
are,
professional.
as a head coach, your kids are watching. Why you think the brawl came after this? Because they watching you for how to cues or how to act. So
Right.
I am not defending him because this is not professional behavior. This is not okay as a Black man because they already, it's too many things wrong with you doing this. However, I got a problem with the fact that it got spun in this way that he is the angry Black man that just did something to this poor, helpless white man who never did anything to him. And the coach for Wisconsin played that thing all the way. Oh, I don't know why he was so, bruh, if you watch the video, you see, this is when we watch these TikToks and different videos of people who this is white privilege kind of stuff, those kind of white privilege videos. This is an example of that, in my opinion, because you grabbed his, he said, bro, don't touch me, bro. He told you what he felt, and he was trying to move on. He really was trying to move on because I don't know if you all remember, a few years ago, he had a run-in with another coach where he told a man he'd kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got a wee bit of a temper. So he knew, I need you to just back up because I know me, right? He was trying to do, don't touch me, we good, bro. But you were insistent that he was gonna hear you out about your reasoning. So you grab his arm to stop him from going.
A lot of people didn't show that part.
That's the part that did not get seen. And that's not the part you wanted people to see.
Right.
So that is my, if I got a beef with the media thing about it, it was that, because you all made it seem like he just hauled off and just did what he did without any provocation, but he was provoked. I'm still saying you got to hold yourself together better than that, period. But it's not that he just all of a sudden was so mad that he just did this. You want to make him look like a monster. Right. And say, oh, look at what he did. And then, of course, here we are. I can't remember the coach's name. I don't know why you know why he don't play. You grabbed that man's arm. Right. And you were holding him, you were restraining him from moving on. And that was why it happened. So I saw Patrick Ewing said, let's just the whole shaking hands after the game. Let's just sneak that. Like it's not whatever. Right. Everybody ain't got good sportsmanship. Okay. Let's just be done with it. And in situations like this, the emotions were high. And just, you go to your locker room, we go to ours. Just be rude to each other. That's what, just be rude to each other.
You'll avoid stuff like this.
Exactly. Just be rude to each other. I remember my husband coaching a basketball game and blowing his team out. And I think that, I'm gonna just be real, because my husband coached a lot of white kids, right? So when we walked in the gym, I think they thought, this is gonna be easy. And so when they blew him out, the coach was hot. And he chose not to shake my husband's hand. And we were standing there like, really? Like, but now I see you might have just been too emotional to deal, sir. And I respect you. So I take it back. Because at the time I was like, you a punk, but I take it back. Take it back. I get it. You might have just been too emotional to really be able to be in that space of being hospitable to somebody, and I get it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That look, you know what I was laughing the whole time, but you said what I was going to say. Like, not a lot of people saw that part, that the pulling of the arm, and like, you won't come back here and listen to what I got to say.
Right. You gonna listen to me.
And then being a victim in the end, like, I don't know why he was responding that way.
So I feel like the punishment he got, some people feel like he should be suspended for the whole rest of the year. I don't know if that's a little harsh, but
I feel like it was appropriate.
Yeah, what he got was appropriate, but I feel like it was inappropriate that you didn't get anything.
Didn't get anything, right?
Because you're not
that part was terrible.
Yes, that part. So yeah.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.